This map is of the battlefields west of Johannesburg, and it's really, really interesting. We're right now at Swartruggens, which is over here. This area here, Swartruggens, and Elands River, which is that little model that we looked at a moment ago. That's where the battle was there, Elands River. And most of the battles between the Boers and the British were closer to Johannesburg, and you can see where there are cross swords where the battle or the skirmishes took place. And Dwarsvlei, where I had that day with Rob, looking at the battlefield and laying the cairns, that's exactly where it was. There's Dwarsvlei. That's in the Machalis. And it's just, there's Johannesburg. Over there, Krugersdorp, which is between Dwarsvlei and Johannesburg, and then of course you've got Pretoria going north. But on this map it actually shows where Paul Kruger's farm was, and there it is there. Paul Kruger's farm is near Phokeng, as it's called now. So here we are on the hill where you saw the battlefield plan in the museum earlier. This is the actual trenches that they built back in 1901, and this is obviously the Battle of Elands River. And there's my guide, Rudie. And our host, Martin.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm just going to do a little bit of tour around the trenches. These are fascinating. Look at that. You can see they're about, how many trenches would you say there are?
12.
12 trenches.
Yeah.
And hundreds of bullets have been found in the bottoms of these trenches, dating back to the Boer War. I'm just going to do a bit of a walk around so we can have a look at these trenches. This is apparently the main one with the Maxim guns. That's the machine guns used to be to repel the Boers. Of course, this was a British position up at the top of the hill, and you can see the trench. And apparently the Rhodesian segment of the British Army, they came down and helped the British, and they had men who were experts with explosives, and they had to literally blast the ground to create the trench, because you can see what the ground is like here. That's the stone that they got to build the trench from the hole that they created. And these trenches are probably about 3 meters wide by about 2 meters high, not even 2 meters high. And you can see they're quite open at the back, but they're very well defended from the front. So if someone came in from behind, it's good night, Josephine. Okay, let's just keep on going. Now, Swartruggens is about an hour west of Rustenburg. So it's right out in the west in the Northern Territory. Okay, I'm just going, you can see how rocky this ground is, where they haven't actually dug. But here are some more of the trenches. Now, the trenches would have been a bit lower, but what's happened here is that the earth has come back a bit. the ones that you see the way it's been dug, they've actually physically dug those trenches out. But these are the original stone cairns that they created to make the trench. And there's another big one over here. Let's go and have a look at that one. As I say, this is the Battle of Elandsrivier at Zwarterochens. Wow. Oh, that's a beauty. That's a beauty. Look at that. You can see how they've dug out the soil that went back in again. But look at that trench. And the Boers actually, they did engage the British up here, but they gave up because they realized because of these trenches they were just going to lose men. And that was General Delaray who led the Boer party in this area back in the third quarter of 1901. This is obviously at the very end of the Boers refusing to give in to the British. Here's another big trench coming up. This whole area is probably the size of a football field, so it's not big, but all the trenches would fit into that area. So it gives you an idea of the size. And look at this, is a beauty. The size of this one. Wow. That would be probably about 10 meters across, I'd say. And probably 15 men would fit in there quite easily. But so quiet out here. Although we have got some visitors, the cattle, as you can see up there. And one last trench that we haven't looked at is this one over here. But it's amazing to think that these trenches are 124 years old now. 124 years old. And about that time, 124 years ago, this hill would have been bustling with, the British and the Rhodesians defending the hill against the Boers, and Delaray and other Boer commandos coming around trying to take them out. Now this is an interesting one. Look at this. It's got like a wall there, and then you come into this circular piece which Boer Martin, whose farm this is on, suggests could have been the wall around a tent. So the tent would fit inside the wall, and this would have been the entrance to the tent. So that's a theory, but looks pretty plausible. Alright, so that's enough of the trenches at the Battle of Elandsrivier here at Zwarterochens. And I'm going to turn off now.
And to slow down the spread of the virus.
Great national importance. The world is facing a medical emergency.
Dis verstommend hoe arrogant die